Right. So, hey guys, this is Madison with Golden Street Publishing. Um, right now I'm working on putting together volume one of othe, which is a samurai story. And, I figured I just while I'm working on putting together volume one, putting some files in order, you know, also working on another comic, Unicorn Melee Man Eaters. I figured, we just talk a little bit about, you know, comics and manga and things while I work on this book and talk about the book a little bit. Right now I'm trying to get all my files in order to get the volume ready to release. And so, we're almost there. I don't know why it's taking so long, but we're almost there. And I don't mean why the book's taking so long. I was talking about me trying to get to this file. But right now I need to find the addendum. So I have an addendum for the book, othe, which gives you like, what's the meaning of a daimyo? What's a shogun? What's a othe? Because these are all terms that, most people aren't going to be familiar with. So I put them in the book so that you don't really get lost in regards to, you know, what everyone's saying. You can always have that reference. But for some reason, I haven't been able to find it. And there it is. Open it up. Wait, no, that's not it. That is not it. Let's see. Let's see. Let me see. Maybe it's a back cover. No, maybe it's. I named this file back inside cover instead of inside back cover, but I think the printer understood. There it is. No. So yeah, so terms used in book. So basically, feudal system, emperor, shogun, daimyo, samurai, ronin, peasant, artisan, merchant, seppuku, bushido, warlord, and we kind of just have this in the book for your reference. But I was looking for this because I have to. I'll export it, a quick export as a PNG to my volume one folder. So that we have it as a export. And then I'd like to see, what did I have for inside front cover? Okay, this is for the newsprint version. So, and almost, actually, I think I want that as the back cover. So actually what I'm going to do here, guys, is because I want to change this description, because this is just more, this is for the first issue. And I also got to change this barcode. But what I'm going to do, guys, let's close this. We're going to open this up. Wait, we're going to open. What the heck is happening? Okay, here we go. Gotta open up Adobe Illustrator because I want to change the description on the back of the book for volume one. As honestly, I think, I have a better description now. So why open so far away? This is awesome. Colors by Ross Hughes. Gonna take this. Delete, 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 delete. And then we're going to go to to open up this file. I got a pretty lengthy description. So like that was a short description, but that was the initial description for issue one. Since we're doing volume one, it's 4 issues. So I think a longer description suffices. And I think this is a better, more concise description. It gives you a lot of what this is about. So we're gonna just, I'm probably gonna have to break it up by line because this is a lot. Like a, look at that. So boom, back. And because it's volume one too, it's kind of a graphic novel. So I want to let people know that too. Right. So for now, we're just gonna hit return at a certain point while we clean this up. But yeah, it's interesting, right? Because I posted a video about how AI art, I guess some AI art won like a manga contest. It didn't win. I think it got 3rd place, but if you think about it, it means it beat everybody, all but 2 humans. But I think the way that they were doing it is by the views, and so like I think people were viewing the manga, um, the viewing people were viewing it because it was made by AI, not because it was like they liked it. But that I think ultimately led to so I'm trying to get it. I'm gonna try to get it all to go like down and around like this, right? So now that I have that, I'm gonna take this first part. So that first part will fit nice right in the top, right? So I'm just gonna take this. Jeez, like there we go. No. Why is it? There we go. Copy. Do new text. Over here. All right. I think we got like this part. Text. Fine. Like some letter. I think we can take this whole part right here. But wait. But like I was saying, the way they did the contest, I think it was based on the views, and I think most of the people were just viewing it like, "Wow, I can't believe this is somebody submitted AI art," but it just jumped the views up so much that it ended up winning. But then it brought the conversation of like people saying, "Oh, like this isn't right," and what's the point of being an artist anymore, and all that good stuff. But to me, I was just thinking like, well, I mean, if you're going to be like realistic, AI art isn't going anywhere, and people who don't have the talent to draw are going to be using it, right? So, I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. You can complain, but like anything else, it's kind of like an inevitability that there's going to be more and more of this. So Now to win the contest, obviously, I like to get like third place. It's weird, but like I said, I think it was just mostly because um, it was based off the views. But I guess I'd feel a type of way if I entered a contest and lost to AI. But hey, shoot, nobody's even writing anymore. I can imagine, like, you know, you know what it is, because I see this, and you can tell because the stories are awful and they don't really quite make sense. Um, where there's people who are definitely like trying to use AI to write their comic book scripts. Um, it's like they got a cool idea. They actually don't want to take the time to nourish it and build it up. So they go with AI. And hey, look, you know, and the crazy thing is, I think a lot of people think that when they use AI, they did something. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? It's like they're using AI and they're like really think like that they're doing it. Like, look what I did. Look at this cool picture I prompted. And it's like, yo, bro, um, you didn't do that. You can't take the credit. That's not yours. Right now, I'm just trying to get a good layout for this before I actually like make it a little better. But I think this is nice and should see this is gonna get cut actually. Damn it. It's all right. I'll fix it later. I'm gonna make the font a little smaller anyway, because when the trim comes, it's gonna slice that. These are good, but it's probably gonna slice like right about here. That E and the TY is gonna get cut. But less glamorous. But yeah, it's like a lot of people are just like they really like think that they're doing something when they put a prompt in, and you're not really doing anything, right? You're you're putting an idea out. You're putting an idea out. I'm just gonna cut this. You're putting an idea out into the world, but you're not bringing that idea to life. The computer is. So is it really your idea? And I think those are going to be some issues that are ran into in the future because uh, one of the things that I think people forget or don't really take into account is that when you use these AI tools and these prompts, the companies that own these AI tools are looking at your prompts. They're recorded and stored in their database because one, they're trying to make their AI better, trying to see how people word things. One, trying to see you know, what people want to use their AI to do too, right? So they can see like people are asking it to do this type of art or whatever, this figure out this equation or figure out this life solution, right? People try to figure out get a beat on their life through AI now, asking for advice from AI. So, but they're tracking all of that. So it's going to be interesting to see, like, if you prompt AI to write you a story, who owns the story, right? Because an idea is not a story. So it's like who gets the credit? You know, I could see that these companies are going to want and feel entitled to compensation of some degree for anything that's used with their AI that makes money from an IP standpoint. And I hope that happens actually, because I think that's going to reduce the want for people to use AI. It's not going to work. Right? I think people, if they feel it, if they're not going to be compensated the way they want for IP and stories, if they use AI, then I think it lowers the incentive for them to use it. Um, so I actually hope that happens. We'll see. It's like I said, I don't see a future where there's any real laws against using AI at all. Most of it's just going to be centered around. So most of the questions will be centered around rights and and actually let's put that and who can and can't. You know, you who can and can't um, use these things to make story. So yeah, basically, I think we're good. Layout looks okay. So now we gotta pick the font. The font is what's happening? Oh, sorry. You guys can't see it, but there's like my screen record thing is like blocking this part part of the thing where it says like right in this area, it says like you are screen sharing. And it's like, yo, get out the way, bro. Now I gotta find a nice font. And let me just go with the classic um, anime ace. I mean, but it's such a massive font. And let's take a look. I do like how you can just kind of do these previews, see how things look. Yeah, let's take. Evil Genius doesn't look too bad. We're gonna stick with it. Not sure what's up with these guys. These guys aren't cooperating. What the heck? Oh, these guys are on a different layer. That's why. Unlock. I was like, what the hell? These guys are being difficult. See how much I can shrink this font down. Say, so Anime Ace is a good font. If I'm doing manga, I would generally use it. I usually wouldn't use it for a regular. I usually wouldn't use it for I usually don't use it for a regular comic like this, but we're gonna actually seven. I think seven is gonna work. So we'll lock this again. Let's put it seven. Unlock it. Yeah, it's a great manga font. I mean, you can't really go wrong with it. It's simple, and more importantly, it's very familiar, right? So, like, if you're everything we get over here is kind of translated. It is interesting, right? Because the one thing about you know Western manga, if you will, is that to turn these bold. The one thing about Western manga is like we're so used to reading the translations of these items, of these like stories, that I think sometimes it's hard to realize that hey, get the spacing right. I'm spacing this myself. So it's like we're doing vertical balloons because they read top to bottom, right to left, right to left, top to bottom. So then you're making an English comic, and the word balloons are still vertical. And I guess that breeds familiarity because that's how people read them. But technically, if the first language for the book is English, right? Why would you have vertical balloons? Don't get me wrong, I do also vertical balloons because, like I said, I think more importantly, you want to give people something they're familiar with. Um, but technically, we should all be using horizontal balloons because in English, this is the one we can start moving. Because in English, this kind of gives it a little style too. By just like slowly working it around his arm like this. In English, we read left to right, top to bottom. So it's in American comics, right? Let's take a look, guys. What do you think? Let's read it. It looks like it's kind of hard to read, yeah? I don't need this anymore. It's about 30. Save as. So it's one of those things like why not just do the horizontal? I mean, it's not like people gonna know that. Okay, I still gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with this. This I think sucks because then I think I gotta move everything around again. So maybe that's not. This has to go. Copy, delete, and then start here. Need to add it here, but then it's gonna knock this off. But let's just see. Yeah, and I can do this. That's fine. All right. Zoom back in. Now it's like overlapping. Boom, bang. It's like that. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Honestly, guys, if you know a better way to do this, leave it in the comments. And then over here, that. And you can take this, copy, get in there. Because I've got actually a lot of space here that I'm not using. So technically take this, slide this back, and bump this down. I think we're good to go. Yeah. Like I said, hey, if you know a better way to do this, like to wrap text but I'm keeping the template in mind. So I think I gotta find a color. I hate messing with the color. Whoa. It's not this. Right. Gotta find a color. Initially that stands out. Let's zoom out. White looks good. White, maybe light blue. About red? No, terrible. Too close to the orangish background. That sun setting sky. Yellow looks terrible. So I guess we got black and white. I think we'll go white. Maybe we'll do a trim though of like a black. No, it's too thick. Where's the line? Wait. Oops. No, bone down. Yeah, I mean, there's no point. I think white looks good. So that means I really should put these on the same layer, but I'm not going to because it's not that serious. Why the hell? Shout out to the Adobe. You know what's crazy? A lot of the people I know who have been lettering and things for a long time, right? So probably like pre-2010. Y'all might not know this, especially if you're young. Adobe used to just sell their stuff, Microsoft, everybody. You could just buy the program outright. So, and at the time it was expensive. You got to think like, so like an Adobe would be like $300. This is like early 2000s. I think that inflation's up like over 40, like 40 some percent since then. It's probably like the equivalent of $500 or $600 today. But you would just buy the program and get a license, and then you would just have it forever, right? So a lot of letterers have never upgraded their Adobe suites because they paid for it like in the late 90s and the early 2000s. And so it's like, it does everything they needed to do still. You know what I mean? Because a lot of this extra stuff is convenience. It does everything they needed to do still, and they own it. So like they don't have this like perpetual subscription thing going on. that they have now. I think I still got like the O3 version of Microsoft Word on somewhere. I don't use it, but I just had like forever. I think they phase out a lot of compatibility with it, but it's like if you just need to type something and print it, like why buy a subscription? You know what I mean? This was, the good old days when the companies were less greedy, but they just get greedier as it goes. Um, anyway, so let's read it. Othe Samurai Tales, a historical fiction graphic novel set in feudal Japan aimed at a mature audience, 17 plus. The story follows Seike, a member of the Othe class, a group of outcasts in the rigidly stratified samurai society. As Seike navigates the harsh realities of his position as a social pariah, he struggles with his identity, loyalty, and the moral complexities of serving a samurai lord. Through Seike's journey, the story explores the less glamorous and often brutal side of being a samurai, revealing the stark social hierarchies and the inescapable caste system that define much of feudal Japan. Sounds good to me. Save it. I'm going to export as PDF. Yeah. This is the back cover, guys. High quality, always high quality. I think I had it on low quality because I was putting together some samples for somebody that I had to email. And the file was too big. All right. And so what's next is, wait a minute. Let's open this. There is something amiss. Did you see that white? Let me go back and show you guys. See this white? That means there's something hidden here that they think is a part of the picture. And there shouldn't be anything there. So the easiest way to figure that out is to kind of just do one of these. There it is. So like so now I gotta export this as a PDF again. Oh, all right. And now we should be good. Yeah, see. Thought something was there. There's nothing there. Yeah. So what's next? We have, so now I need to go to the addendum, saved as a PNG file. Somewhere here. Actually, we'll just do this. 1, 2. I'm going to convert to Adobe PDF. It opened in a different screen. But so now we have the cover and the addendum. It's a PDF. And that's not what we want. We already got that. So boom, bang, bing, bang, boom. All right. Saved anywhere? All right. So I gotta save them. Save here. All right. Here, and then I want to add these to the main file. So right now, I think I have it as sample 2. And actually, I think I only need to add the addendum at the end. So here, and I'm adding back. So I cover it after page 94. Perfect. So that's just part of it. Up here, it says 17 plus. You guys might have saw that quick flash, but it's art, right? Should be good. Yeah, everything's looking good. I'm gonna save this, and all I gotta do is I got a couple friends that I'm gonna put an advertisement for their books in here, some other things. And so right now it's at 94 pages. So we're probably looking at maybe 96 to 98 pages, but that's pretty solid, guys. So yeah, thanks for hanging out with me for the moment, and see you guys next time.